Hello and welcome to my corner of the internet. I'm Darkbloom and today we're going to be talking about the not so secret Valve game Deadlock. Deadlock is currently in a playtesting phase and the only way to play the game is to be invited by a friend who has access to the game. So it's kind of limited, but at the same time there's a lot of people playing this playtest, guys. I mean a lot for a playtest. Look at these numbers. Yeah. So we're going to be talking about Deadlock today. I'm going to go over what I like about the game, what makes the game stand out from traditional MOBAs. Yes, it's a MOBA. The heroes inside of the game, and the promise this game actually has. Because as you can see, the player count is pretty high. There's obviously something here, and Valve might have actually hit the mark with this game. I'm just going to be honest. They might have hit the mark, guys. Valve might be back. We might have Valve back. But who knows? This is a playtest, and we all know how Artifact went, but I don't think this is going to be an Artifact situation at all. The interest for Deadlock is extremely high right now, and it's just going to keep going and going. So, what is Deadlock? Deadlock is a 6v6 MOBA hero shooter. Yeah, MOBA hero shooter, what the fuck am I talking about? Alright, let me break it down for you a little bit. I say hero shooter because the movement, it kind of mimics a lot of what you would feel from Overwatch or other games. The movement inside of Deadlock is a lot more fast-paced than like League of Legends or Dota or even Smite for that matter. The characters feel nice, they have dashes. Everyone in Deadlock has a dash. It's not an ability, it is just a given movement mechanic in this game, which is very nice. There is no jungle role. Yep, you heard me right. There is no jungle role. What happens is there's two lanes with two people, and then the other lanes have solos. So yeah, that's where the 6 comes in. 6 people in 4 lanes. 2 lanes have 2 people. Bam. The thing is though, is there is jungle camps and camps throughout the map. When you start roaming mid-game or after the laning phase, you can start hitting those camps along the way to the next lane you're trying to get to if you have time. So there are jungle camps, they're useful. There's just no designated jungle role. I mean, there might be someone on your team who just focus on farming for a little while. I mean, that's kind of normal, but it's not a designated role in this game. And honestly, it's an interesting way to go about it. I kind of like how this game sets up the lanes, the rules. I mean, there's really no rules. You matchmake with the character that you pre-selected in the menus, and it assigns you a lane automatically. You go on a zip line right down that lane, and you start the laning phase. There's no like role selection or anything like that. Getting into the game is a pretty easy experience, a lot more easier than say League of Legends. You select 3 of the characters you would like to play as, and the game will pick one of those characters for you, assign you a lane, and throw you in a game, usually within 1 to 2 minutes, sometimes a little longer. But yeah, the matchmaking is pretty quick and precise. The more you play, it has a hidden MMR system, and it's not really obvious right now, but the better you do, the more you play, the more you'll get matched up with players around your skill level. So that system is there in Deadlock, it's just hidden. Now, let's talk heroes, arguably the most important part of these games. The cast of characters that we'll all be playing as. Let's take a look at them. Are they compelling? And yeah, actually, some of them are. A lot of them are, actually. They all have their own unique playstyles, their own unique personalities. And if you ever played Overwatch, you know how the characters banter back and forth and that happens in Deadlock as well. It's pretty nice. There's a total of 21 playable characters as of the playtest, and that's a pretty big number, I'm not gonna lie. When I opened up the game and saw that many characters, I was kind of surprised. Now, let's talk about what makes Deadlock mechanically different from other MOBAs, and there's a couple to talk about. We've already went over the lanes, so I'll just dive into it. Soul Orbs. Now, what the fuck am I talking about? Alright, I'll break it down for you. In Deadlock, when you kill minions or enemies, for your team, the orbs will appear green, and if it's an enemy orb, it'll appear orange. If you shoot your orb, you secure the souls so the enemy cannot take it from you. If you shoot an enemy's orb, you steal those souls away from that enemy. This is massively different from a lot of other MOBAs. There is a possibility that you could just sit back at your tower and just farm and deny the enemy souls. This doesn't always work, trust me, I've tried it. But there's a playstyle for it. Denying and securing your souls, it can make and break a game. It can make and break a laning phase, and it can possibly make the end game much easier for your team if you're able to do this precisely. The denying and securing system is pretty fucking cool. I love it actually. It's a whole other layer on top of a MOBA, which for some people, MOBAs don't need another layer, but I like this. Alright, now let's talk about the shop inside Deadlock. The shop in Deadlock is unique because there's 3 categories. You got your vitality, weapon power, and spirit, which is basically your ability power. And at the start of the game, you can only hold 4 items per category. But as the game goes on and you destroy enemy walkers and move, through the lanes and push forward, you unlock what they call flex slots, and you can buy more items out of that category if you're already full. This mechanic makes for very, very versatile builds, and something interesting to see play out in the future. Obviously, this game's a playtest. A lot of this probably won't matter, like I've said a couple times, but for now, looking at it, there's a lot of depth here, and there's a lot of things that could happen when it comes to builds and character play styles that haven't been discovered yet. And I think the whole flex slot, the whole shop mechanic that they have going on here compared to other MOBAs is pretty nice. I like the whole idea they have. After having about 30 hours of playtime inside of Deadlock and getting an overall feel for the game, I can comfortably say that I really enjoy the game flow and gameplay of Deadlock. I see very big promise in this game, and for a playtest, it blew me away. The only thing I'm worried about is Valve itself giving up on the game or just not providing it the constant updates that it needs. A game like this needs constant support, and we all know Valve isn't the best at that. So hopefully for this game, they can kind of work around it. It really seems like that the development team behind Deadlock is very passionate about it. So I do have some faith in this game, and I think Valve will treat it like a child of its own, kind of like they do Steam and Counter-Strike, which, unless you're Steam, they don't really pay too much attention to you. We all know this, so I guess we'll have to wait and see for Deadlock. But Deadlock is a very fun game. I'm having a blast with it. I haven't touched League of Legends since I started playing this, and I'm just going to keep playing it. This is a fantastic game. Valve is onto something here, and I have no doubt it's going to grow into something wonderful. That's all I really have for you guys this week. Next week we're going to be talking about Wreckfest 2. I'm also going to be working on a video for beginner tips for Deadlock. Hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching. See you guys on the next one. Hey yo, she is so low. Come here. I missed. She's like 1 tap. Come on. What am I doing? What? No. What the fuck?